Welcome to the 15th session of Patanjali meditation for beginners PM101. As is our practice, we will devote first about roughly 10 minutes on a short practice of Patanjali meditation. We are familiar with these 5 steps. Let's take the body posture either as Sukhasana or as Siddhasana, and shake away any stiffness from major joints. Let's devote a couple of minutes on deep breathing. Deep breathe out. Hold the breath out. Deep breathe in. Hold it within. Breathe out. Hold it out. Breathe in. Hold it within. Breathe out. Hold it out. Breathe in. Hold it within. One more last cycle. Breathe out. Hold it out. Breathe in. Hold it within. We take a short pause. When we disconnect from the breathing and let the body do it in its automated fashion, our mind is not concerned with breathing anymore. Let's instruct our mind with the sound, particular code word. We recite together 5 times. Then we focus our mind between the 2 eyebrows. Once our mind is settled there, we walk into the cave, disconnect from our mind. Let's recite the sound. Om. 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 We now casually open our eyes. Let me go to the slides. With reference to the ebook we have discussed last week, Patanjali meditation can help us gain new insights, new creative ideas, and all that happens when we are more in nothingness, when we are in blank mind. For last few weeks we have been discussing what may happen during state of meditation when we are relatively in blank mind. That is why we have been emphasizing Patanjali meditation as a step beyond mindfulness that we can call almost like mindlessness. So we have seen when we are disconnect from mind, then it is trust and service that causes transformation in mind. We have also seen that takes us to a feeling what we can call absolute happiness. And then last week we have seen that is the opportunity when a new flash may appear on our chitta, in our mind screen. Today we are going to discuss something very important in human life, so much so that this is the first thing we receive from our mother soon after our birth, what is called mother's love. So it will be interesting to see how Patanjali meditation can help us in the journey that we became embedded with pure and genuine love. Something there is a lot of misunderstanding about. I devote next two slides on the misunderstanding about what we call love. It is dramatized by saying let's consider a number of young people getting married today. On any given day, throughout the world, a number of people would be getting married. And if you ask them, every one of them is likely to say, as I say here, they all think they love their spouse. Every bride will say, I love the groom, and every groom will say, I love the bride. And that is why we are here to get married. But we know it. The present statistics are very mind blowing. If we revisit them 10 years later, then what is going to happen? I have borrowed this from internet. What are the chances that first marriage will end in separation or divorce? 20% will end in within 5 years. Out of 5 marriages will fail within 5 years. And if we have 10 years benchmark, 20%, about 1 in 3 will end as a failure. And if you wait longer, the percentage is increasing. So much so that in 20 years, 48%, almost half, 1 out of every 2 marriages will likely to fail. Of course, it becomes a very for the couple who have to separate, but it is much more so for the children. So we are producing abnormal children when the family entirely is broken. And in turn, when they get married, they have no concept of love. They haven't inherited anything because their parents ended up with a broken marriage. So they are more likely to end up like that. So these percentages with in due course of time will further increase. But of course, when we met them on the day of wedding, they said they loved each other. Didn't they say that they loved each other? But that love has vanished among these people who form these statistics of broken, failed marriages. So they didn't know what love is. Otherwise, the marriage would not have ended like this. Let us see if love is so important, why we don't get to know it properly. And let us attempt to know it as much as possible. So we are making an observation that naturally we learn love because it is so important, as if Mother Nature has certain design that every human being must learn properly what love is. So we start with an observation that mother's love towards her small child is said to be the most superior kind, which is very natural in the sense every mother exhibits that love. A human mother, even in animal and bird kingdom. Mother giving birth to a child has that natural love and affection for her child. We want to point out there are two elements in love. I will call it sacrifice and tolerance. Sacrifice is the desire to give everything good. It is quite contrary to our day to day life. We go out of our homes for work or for whatever reason. Our objective is to acquire something, to gain something. We derive a pleasure if we are benefiting, if we are gaining something. But love is very unusual, particularly mother's love, that she enjoys in giving. This is quite contrary to a common man's thinking, but that is the power of the Mother Nature's design that every mother, and to a lesser extent, every father, enjoys in giving to their children. That is sacrifice. And the other side of the coin is tolerance. Whatever comes from their loved ones, all sorts of negativities, the mother and the father are willing to tolerate it. They don't complain. So when they give, they don't keep an account. They have no expectation in return. They just give for the sake of giving. And even in that process, they are enjoying. And when it comes to tolerating all kinds of hardships, they do it with a feeling that this is part of love life. They don't make any complaint. So, sacrifice and tolerance are two important ingredients of love. Let us see how we learn this love, which is a very superior kind in a mother, but as the child grows, how the child is picking up the lesson of love. So I have put it in three echelons, three levels, as if the nature teaches us on three occasions of life. The very first is when we take birth. As a child, we receive mother's love in infinite measure. We may not know much, but a child begins to sense it, what true love is. And when something is given to that child with genuine love, child is willing to accept it. The child is small, has not much of a capacity, is always in the taking mode, in form of material things, mother's milk, air, water, food, whatever you think of, and also a lot of things flavor the child is taking from mother, father, and then brothers, sisters, even other relatives, etc. Suppose the child meets a stranger and the stranger wants to give a gift to the child. Child has slight hesitation because the child is not sure if the gift is coming by with pure love or it has some restrictions. He doesn't know that stranger. So the child usually looks at his mother, and if mother approves, then he takes the gift from that stranger. The point is, the child is in taking mode, but doesn't mean he will take anything from anybody. He takes a thing only if it is given to him with pure, genuine love. If he has agitation, he will not take it. So he knows it that love is to be taken and nothing else. So he is in taking mode, but he is beginning to know what love is. And if something is given to him with genuine, pure love, he is accepting it. So, of course, many times we take pride in the fact that I give this much, I give that much, I made this donation, and so on and so forth. We should realize we cannot give if somebody is not willing to take. So, give and take is a very two-way process. We are willing to give goodness, we are willing to show our love because somebody is willing to take it. If the recipient is not willing to accept what we intend to give, then I will not be a giver. I cannot be in the giving mode. So, we have to appreciate one who is taking also. It is not everybody takes if something is given with pure love. Taking mode is not always greedy person. Let's look at the second level. Now the child is growing, becomes a young man or young woman, then they come into contact with another person of opposite gender. So now a young man and young woman get together, get married. As soon as this happens, both of them now begin to love each other. Age of second, they have graduated to a different, higher class of love where they learn to share. A newly married couple, if you meet them, they always do something, particularly those that are enjoyable experience. They hesitate to do it alone. If they have to go to a restaurant, they want to go together. If they want to visit a new place, they want to do it together. If one is alone, it doesn't quite look in order because now they are in sharing mode. They want to share all their good things with the other person. So this is one level higher than taking mode. Then in due course, they have a child. Now they have further graduated to a higher level of love, third level, where they enjoy in giving. The mother as well as the father. In Sanskrit language, there is a term devatva, they become devata. Mother is a devata and father is a devata. Devata is one who enjoys in giving. This is the beautiful university of the mother nature where every human being goes through three steps of learning. Sounds like bachelor level, master's level, and doctorate level. And everybody gets a doctorate in love once you become a mother or a father. So that is natural design because it happens to everybody. We cannot take much credit for it because it is by design of the mother nature. But in the context we were talking, if we meet the people who are getting married today, say 10 years later, then there are all kinds of possibilities. So, just to maintain the positive possibilities, we ask a question: can we raise the love towards the spouse from the second to the third level? Now that young man and woman, they have become a mother or father, they have got a taste of the third level of love. But they started their journey with the second level of love. Now this can slip. There is a downsizing, you know, downslide that this may disappear. And as it happens, a number of marriages fail. But can it happen that because the same two individuals are familiar with this third level of love, albeit for their child, but can they look at each other degree of love, so called the third level, where they begin to give and derive pleasure in giving to each other? That is the question we are asking. Is it possible? So this I will call is a worldly level because it happens throughout the world. And if you do want to ensure it, that the quality of love among the young man and woman from second level to the third level, then we have to explore another plane of living. Slightly, I will say it is a spiritual plane of living, not just the worldly plane of living. And if we understand certain mechanisms there, then maybe it is guaranteed that the young man and woman will also continue to love each other and with a higher quality of love possible. So let's look at Patanjali meditation in this context. I am saying if the worldly university of love is there, every human being is going through that, then there are some mature, smart people, they can register to the Mother Nature's University of Love and go through what we call continuing education in love. So that is what is a possibility for those who practice Patanjali meditation. So we are towards the end of the course, and now we are looking at exploring some finer aspects of human quality and how Patanjali meditation can help us in that regard. So we are saying at a higher level on the spiritual plane, we start our journey from the square one, the first level, but at the spiritual level. So let's begin this story from where we started with as a child when I was born in the lap of my mother. And that time I was in the taking mode. But now, as a grown up person, as a Patanjali meditation, I realize I am in taking mode from the mother nature, from the surroundings, air, water, food, and all sorts of beautiful things in the nature. And as we get closer, we realize all that is happening in my body frame. Some of those functions are voluntary functions. I cause them as I lift my hand, I lift certain objects. I am consciously doing that. And this is possible because a number of background forces are working. In particular, my pumping heart on the left side of the chest is causing blood circulation, and respiratory system, my breathing, so much so even when I am in deep sleep, the breathing, the heartbeat, all this is non-stop functioning, continuously functioning. And if they stop for a moment, I will collapse. So a lot of things are happening in my background. There is a lot that I am not even aware of. But I know a lot of things are, many things are happening. I eat some food and just forget about get going with the next activity. But in my digestive system, scientists say that even if I eat one tiny biscuit, 40,000 compounds are formed. 40,000 chemical compounds are formed in our tiny belly. And that gives rise to all kinds of juices, all kinds of extracts that is sucked by the bloodstream, and so many complex things are happening that we cannot even fully comprehend it, understand it. So that is happening by nature's design. If we call that entity, that force as Mother Nature, then I will say at the very level one, like I benefited from my mother's love. I didn't have much to give to her, but at least I reciprocated love to her. Occasional smiles. I was in a in loaded with gratitude, so to say. I didn't have much to give, but I had a feeling that I can express my gratitude. Now at the spiritual plane, can we do the same thing? Reciprocate love to her, the Mother Nature, whose shower of love should be felt every moment. In particular, in every breath we are taking, I am speaking, you are listening. Our mind is busy processing all these thoughts, but in background, the Mother Nature is breathing on our behalf. So even the next breath is a gift from her. So if we are under the shower of Mother Nature's love, we ought to reciprocate that love with a sense of gratitude. Filled with gratitude, if I say thanks from my deep within, then probably she will say, "You are welcome into the cave." So deep inside, wherever I am, natural forces are working. So Mother Nature is there everywhere. If I wish to go into my cave, after disconnecting from my mind, if I go filled with that sense of gratitude, then that journey will be facilitated. That's what we aim in our daily practice of Patanjali meditation, bringing our mind calm, filled with nothingness, so that our chitta, the mind screen, has nothing to exhibit, and then I can disconnect from my mind, walk into the cave, and be with my Mother Nature, nobody else being there. And indeed, if you see in this language, Patanjali meditation and its 5 steps that we are following correlates very well. As a child returning from school goes through certain steps, ending up with hugging the mother. So let's analyze those 5 steps. The child is getting off the school bus, then walking towards home, accompanied. They are chatting and talking and walking. As soon as the particular child comes to his home, he disconnects from his friends. He says, "Bye, see you tomorrow." Now he enters into his home, but now he gets further disconnection. He further disconnects from paraphernalia, the shoes, bags, and jackets, things like that. He throws them away on a side, and then he rushes to his mother, and they are united. He is hugging his mother with minimum things in his hand. Not that he's talking to his friend on mobile and still hugging his mother. That will not be a pure love. So he has nothing, nothing in his mind except that he is submerged in his mother's love. So that is what our Patanjali meditation practice is like. If we have developed a bonding with the Mother Nature and are filled with that sense of gratitude, then being in Patanjali meditation is just like being with the Mother Nature. I devote next 2 slides so that if there is some misunderstanding, we have an opportunity to clear it. Because we hear so many things in the world, there are certain common ideas about love. They are not wrong, but we have to understand them in a clear perspective. It is a matter of semantics, basically. What we hear is typically that love is from heart and not from mind. If you work more intellectually, then you don't quite understand what love is. To get to know what love is, you have to function at an emotional level. So that is indicated as if love originates from heart, whereas knowledge and fantastic ideas come from a mind. How do we reconcile with Patanjali's philosophy? This is a very important concept to understand that the word heart actually means the soul. The heart of the human being is, of course, one heart is the pumping heart on the left side of the chest, which causes blood circulation. That is also called heart. But there is another meaning of the word heart, that is the soul of myself, my consciousness, the me. That is what sometimes we say, what is the heart and soul of the matter? So the soul is also the heart. Indeed, in Sanskrit language, the word heart can mean hridaya, the pumping heart, as well as the soul. And there is another word similar to it that is called hit. The English word heart seems to have originated from the Sanskrit word hit. Hit always means the soul. Hit patishtam yadijayam javishtam tanme manah shiv shankar. What it is saying is, mind is very much where the soul is living. The soul and mind, as we have seen right at the start of the course, using the metaphor of thumb in the fist. So the soul is the thumb, and that is enveloped by a shell of mind. All these are very, very small, millionth of the point of the needle, so small. So these are those scales somewhere in our head region. Our soul is residing in a tiny shell of mind. So that is the heart of me, where I am living in the shell of a mind. So heart means the soul, that is the me, and not just the pumping heart on the left side of the chest. That being the case, actually the heart is filled with love, the soul is filled with love, but impurities in mind, don't let it permeate out, don't let it radiate outside. There is love in my heart, but if my mind is not pure, if there are a lot of impurities, if I am jealous of others, if I am angry, all those mental weaknesses, then that love in the heart cannot come out. So, what it means is, this statement is not wrong. Love is from heart and not from mind. But its actual meaning is, Patanjali meditation can clean the mind, can wash the mind, and then the inner love from the heart, from the soul, can radiate outside. So, yes, this statement is correct. Love is radiating from the heart, that is the soul. It is not quite from my mind, but my mind, because of its impurities, can block it. So, that is the benefit of Patanjali meditation. As my mind is washed out of all these impurities, I am able to radiate more love towards others in my family and even outside. This is the true meaning of this statement. Yes, love is from heart and not from mind, but you need a pure mind. And that is where Patanjali meditation can do its magic. Your mind is washed, cleansed, and then you have raised your what I call love index. Now you know the more pure and genuine meaning of love. There is another thing we hear much, that love has no logic. That is also true, but that should be properly said as love is unconditional, and pure love is always unconditional. Like mother gives birth to a child, even if the child is born blind, even if the child has some body parts deformed, mentally retarded, is hard of hearing, or any serious ailments, defects, whatever it is, the mother will not exchange that child for a better child. She accepts graciously as the gift of the mother nature, and this is her child because her love was unconditional. We love a person and not his or her attributes. This is very important for us to realize, especially those who get married. If you say today you love this person and you are getting married, and sometime later you say, no, this person does like this person has these defects, this person has different attributes, now you should not make complaint. If you really love the person as it is, then that love, if it was true love, that should not diminish. Maybe it should increase with time. So that is what Patanjali meditation is capable of doing. It can raise an individual's love index. As Patanjali meditation practice deepens, now we are in our 15th week. Some of you are feeling that your meditation practice is becoming deeper and deeper with time. Now it's time to notice whether your love index is rising. And if not now, you can expect it to happen. And that will be made more possible if you genuinely reciprocate love towards Mother Nature. So look at the daily practice of Patanjali meditation as you are expressing your gratitude and love towards the Mother Nature. So that will be a pulling force, will help you disconnect from your mind. And then you are receiving that Mother Nature's love, and that is raising your own love quality, your own love index. Now you will see that the way you look at others, particularly the loved ones, your spouse, your children, and others, you will see now you are able to exhibit a better, deeper, more genuine quality of love. Because, and that's where some people have an element of doubt. If love is giving goodness, then how can I give so much to so many people unless I have that? People begin to think in terms of money. If I have to give money, of course I have limited money. How can I give so much to so many people? That's where we want to say, yes, love includes sacrifice and tolerance, but you don't always have to give money. It is something very subtle energy that you are gaining from the Mother Nature in deep meditation, and that is what you are giving to others, your family members, and even others in your neighborhood, etc. etc. So you are acquiring more inner energy in Patanjali meditation practice that makes it possible to give more. And now how do you know you are acquiring higher love index? Now it is less likely that you will count what good you did to others. A common man has a long list what he has done good to others. But as your love index rises, you are not likely to count it. Just like no mother did for her child, she did it out of pure love, on account of what you did to others. So, as your love index increases, you are less likely to count what good you did to others. Your tolerance level is also increasing. Now you have higher thresholds of provocation. You don't get angry that easily now. You don't raise voice that easily now. So that on the other side of the coin, you are less likely to count others did to you, what harm others did to you. You will forget all this. You will forget all good you did to others, and you will forget what wrong others did to you. But still, there is a very strong possibility. Say, your spouse doesn't have high love index. So, of course, if you look at objectively, nobody is perfect in physical health and no in mental health. Of course, it is easy to see defects in others' mind rather than in your own mind. And that is where Patanjali meditation practitioner is very open minded that yes, my love index is increasing, but that means I am more able to withstand, tolerate a person whose mind is not that much developed. Or I will say, just imagine you have a spouse that meets an accident and now is on a wheelchair. Out of your love, you will be you will give full support to that spouse on the wheelchair. Similarly, imagine that many of us are on a mental wheelchair where we behave in a particular negative manner in certain situations. So now that your love index is rising, it will be easier for you to understand others' status and you will accept them because love is unconditional and you will still give them the support thinking they are what they are as if the person is on a on an abstract mental wheelchair and can give that support and I can continue to give that support. So you don't react to such persons negativity, you just accept it as it is. And of course, if you are a regular practitioner, one thing is very likely your own marriage will not fail, is very, very less likely to fail because you have higher love index and you have a better sense of understanding. And of course, if both the members, both the couple, husband and wife, practice Patanjali meditation, I think it can be a very ideal marriage. So Patanjali meditation, when we started the course, I couldn't have said so much that yes, your love index will rise, etc., etc. But I hope some of you will accept these ideas that yes, Patanjali meditation is capable of raising your personality at a very higher level where you can treat so many people with genuine and pure love. We are very close to the 60 minutes deadline. So let's look at this list of in the next week, which is our concluding session. And let's do a short, brief meditation just as an end of it. I will set an alarm. We have just barely 5 minutes. Maybe I take 2 minutes extra. So it's 19:32. Let's do 3 cycles of deep breathing. Deep breathe out, hold the breath out, deep breathe in, hold the breath within, breathe out, hold the breath out, breathe in, hold it within. One more last cycle, breathe out, hold it out, breathe in, hold it within. Let's pass on the responsibility of breathing to our body's automated mechanism. We are unconcerned about our breathing. Now we instruct our mind to become calm so that we can get lost into nothingness. And that nothingness could be the taste of Mother Nature's love. Let's recite the sound 3 times together. Om. 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 We may gradually open our eyes, and thanks for joining us. See you next week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock Central Time. Have a good time.